guys, how are you? Welcome to today's video. If you are new here, hi, I'm Stephanie, and on this channel I do makeup reviews and I do tutorials and all that stuff. And I don't use any crazy editing or any filters or anything. I show you what the products look like on real skin. I am a little over 40 and I have dry skin, so keep that in mind when we're using different products. The only thing I really use to film is just my camera, a microphone, and my box lights that I have here in front of me. That's pretty much it. So if you like that kind of thing, please consider subscribing. I would love having you here. And without further ado, let's get started. So today we are going to do a tutorial and a review on the new Natasha Denona palette. This is the Xenon palette. And I love, sorry, it's like, I'm trying not to blind you because it is a little reflective, but the cover on this palette is so beautiful. It looks like the night sky. Absolutely love it. And the outer box, which I don't have anymore, looked exactly like this too. So that's something to keep in mind. But this is the midi palette, so it's not her larger palettes and it's not her mini ones. It's like the in-between one. So it'll have 15 different shadows in it. And they range from mattes, there's some shimmers, there's this new formula that she's been playing with that I actually really like. It's like a sheen, it's like a topper almost, you'll see. But it's very beautiful. And I believe there's a couple cream to powders in here as well, which if you are a fan of Natasha Denona, then you know like the cream to powders are in a few of her palettes. And I just need to say that I do love Natasha Denona palettes. I have a few of them. My all-time favorite though is the bronze palette. It is honestly like my favorite neutral palette. I love it. I use this palette so much in the summertime. I'm actually creating a divot in the shades Beach and Suntan just because those are the ones I use the most. But normally when I do these palette reviews, I do a couple different eyeshadow looks so we can use a bunch of different shadows and kind of see how they all work. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to do one. And the reason why is if you haven't seen this palette yet, I know it's all over the place right now because it is a newer release. These eyeshadows are very similar to each other. So this is the color story. It is a Smoky eye lover's dream come true. There are so many different silvers and grays and blacks, and I believe the shadow Ebb, I think it is right here, is kind of like, it's got blue to it, if you can see that. It looks like there's like a blue undertone to it. So because of how similar these eyeshadows are to each other, I'm not going to do a bunch of different eye looks because they're all going to look a little similar. So this palette does retail for $69 since it is her midi palette, and it is in the harder plastic, I believe it is, shell. And the shadows are removable if you're into that kind of thing. You can see the little holes on the back. You can pop the shadows out and put them in like a Z palette, or, you know, maybe take some shadows out of the bronze palette and mix and match. Whatever you want to do, your palettes are your thing. I personally like to keep them together. It does sit up very nicely if you want to travel, so it doesn't like fall all the way down. It sits straight up. And this right here, I still have the cover on it, I haven't taken it off. This is a full mirror, so if you are traveling, this is actually really good to help you get ready. But what I'm going to do now is, I think we've covered everything about it. If I forgot anything, I'll put it in the description box below, but I think we're just going to zoom in and get started on an eye look. Alright, so this is the eye look that we're going to recreate on my other eye. This is actually the exact same eye look that I did when we went out trick-or-treating for Halloween. So I'm going to use my fluffy brush, and I'm going to use the shade Contrail as kind of like a transition shade. Ooh, focus. There we go. And I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that on the fluffy brush. And then we're just going to start working that in. It's very light, so it works as a transition shade. Alright, now that I have that all blended out, I'm going to use the shade Blizzard as my crease shade. Mine's up here at the top, right above the Snowbow. And I'm just going to use this as my crease shade. And now with my smaller brush for the outer corner, I'm going to use the shade Night Sky, which is right here. This very dark black. And I'm just going to focus it on the outer corner. And I believe this is one of the cream to powder, so you might have to build it up yourself. And then bring any leftovers into my crease to kind of darken all of that up. And then with my finger, I'm going to go into the shade Super Ionic, which is this very beautiful silvery gray right here. I absolutely love this shadow for a lid shade. Love it. And then I'm going to clean this up a little bit and then do my lower lash line and add a little mascara, and I will be right back. Alright, here we are with the final look. I really like the way that this came out. I just threw a little bit of the, where did it go? I just had it. Oh, here it is. The Tartelette Tubing Mascara on. I don't have any lashes on. Can never put them on right, so I don't even mess around with it. But overall, here is my final thoughts on this eyeshadow palette. So my thoughts are this. This is a pricier palette. Obviously, it is Natasha Denona. She does have a little bit pricier palettes. However, generally, it's worth it. I love the formulas that come in, especially these midi palettes. These things are fantastic. I only have a couple of them, but the ones that I do have are great. However, this one, my thing with this is it is very expensive, so I'm trying to like use my words wisely because I know that there's different people out there. So if you are a person who loves Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes, especially these midi palettes, and you don't mind paying the $69 or waiting for a sale or whatever. I know the Sephora sale just happened. She generally runs sales on her website a little often. There might be one coming for Black Friday. I don't know. But if you are a person, maybe you collect these palettes and you can't wait for the next one to come out and you love the color story, absolutely, like, you won't be disappointed at all. However, if you're a person who maybe will only use this for Halloween or special occasions, kind of like myself, I don't do a smoky eye like all the time, this might not be the best. And it's because of the price point, but also because of the color story itself. There are way too many similar eyeshadows in this eyeshadow palette for me to justify, you know, someone who isn't a huge Natasha Denona fan picking it up. I know there's if you like the idea of these colors, but maybe you want something smaller and something a little bit more affordable, ColourPop does have a 9-pan palette. I don't know where it is, so I didn't bring it to film here today, but I do have it. I have it before they changed the name of it, so the one I have is called Blow and Smoke, but I believe it's called the Smoke Show palette now, and it's the same idea. It's the smoky tones, the grays, the silvers. There's, I think, a black or two in there. So it's basically the same color story, just you only have 9 eyeshadows, which might be a little bit easier for, you know, maybe someone who doesn't do a smoky eye every day or all the time, that kind of thing. So the palette itself is fantastic, and if you are in the market for it, you won't be disappointed. However, if you're on the fence about it, maybe look into the ColourPop option instead, just because those eyeshadows are great too. It's a little bit more affordable. I think it's like between like maybe $10 and $14. I can't remember how much it is. But since it is ColourPop, it is, you know, pretty affordable. But, you know, like I said before, if you are a fan, like I couldn't wait for this palette to come out when I saw it. I love these eyeshadow tones. I love doing a really cool gray smoky eye, especially for a special occasion or going out, or definitely for Halloween. Like, this is exactly what I did when we went out trick-or-treating. I did this, and then I threw like a red lipstick on, because I love this tone with like a red lipstick. I did a nude lipstick today, but I love the red lipstick. So that's what I did for Halloween. But honestly, I'm not mad that I have this. I did get it during a sale at, there was an Ulta sale that they did. It was like 20% off, even the, you know, luxury brands at Ulta. So I got it there because, you know, sales are sales. So anyway, guys, let me know down below what your thoughts are. I really do like this. I'm not even messing around. So this is, some of these eyeshadows are absolutely beautiful. And the sheen, oh, I didn't even show you guys the sheen. So this is one of them. It's called Stellar. And I'm just going to swatch it on my hand so you can kind of see. But it's this newer formula that she's been messing around with that I absolutely love. And it just kind of gives your eye like a glow almost. It's almost like putting a highlighter on your eye. It's so pretty. So yeah, sorry, I almost ended the video and I didn't even show you guys that. But anyway, let me know down below what you think. I personally love it. I'll get some use out of it. You know, it's not, you know, a return for me, but like I said before, if you're not somebody who would get a lot of use out of it, then, you know, maybe go for the more affordable option. Unless, you know, you're a person who loves the little mini palettes from Natasha. So I'm going to go, though, because now I'm starting to ramble. But I will see you guys in the next one.